Good morning. Here we are supposed to study about the sampling with rectangular pulse train. In previous session we have seen sampling of impulse or the ideal function. Now we are supposed to study about the sampling with rectangular pulse. So here we are considering if we consider x of t as the original signal, it means what? The signal we are supposed to sample. X of t will become here, that will be the sample signal, and yp of t, this is nothing but it will represent the periodic rectangular pulse train. It means what? It will represent the train of that pulses. So here when we are supposed to do sampling at that time, if you can see here the first diagram, that is nothing but the original 6.5a. We are taking one original pulse which will look like a rectangular pulse. Now we are supposed to sample that pulse. So here if we see the diagram B, here we are taking the train of that pulses. It means what? We are taking the periodic rectangular pulse train for the x of t in the figure B. Now in figure C, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to do sampling. It means what? We are taking here sampled signal. So you can see the diagram here. So here it is not possible to generate the impulses. But if you see the practical method of the sampling, we are doing the sampling with the rectangular pulse. So here when we are taking the sampled pulse, you will get the equation x of t will become equal to the original signal x of t into the periodic train pulse. We are taking periodic train pulse as yp of t. So your equation will become x of t equal to x of t into yp of t. Now when we are supposed to do sampling, and if we are converting the time domain into a frequency domain, our equation will become xs of t की जगह आएगा f. You will get xs of f equal to x of f into yp of f. So here now if we are taking the summation, our equation will become for the periodic function. Yp of f will become n equal to minus infinite to infinite tau upon t of s into, we are taking here the sinusoidal function. So sin c n f s tau del f n minus n f of s. So here our equation, if you solve that, you will get xs of f, that will be the product of x of s, f and y p of f. So if you are taking combinedly, your equation will become tau of t of s in bracket. If you take, you will get sin c tau of t of s into f plus f of s plus x of f plus sin c tau upon t of s into f minus f of s, x of f minus f of s. So here we are taking the sinc n tau upon t of s as a scalar factor which will depend only on the n. So we find x of f and it shifted the replicas unlike the previous case. So here we will get the frequency that will be the greater than 2 of w. So here we will get the original signal. We can reconstruct the signal because here we will get the frequency that is greater than 2 of s. So here we will get the frequency that is nothing but xs of f, we can call the sampled frequency, because here the frequency is greater than 2 of f. So here Nyquist theorem is get satisfied. Now we are supposed to study about the flat topped sampling. So here what we are doing here, if we are considering the one diagram as shown in the figure 6.7, here we are using the zero order hold with the impulse response which we have studied in the 6.1. just now we have studied about the impulse. So here we are taking the additional zero order hold with the impulse response. So our equation will become h of t equal to g of a t minus tau by 2 upon tau. So here we are taking xs of t is nothing but it is the same. That will be the sampled function. We can take as a sample signal. So now our equation for the flat top sampling, that will become y of t equal to xs of t sampled into a zero order hold, that is nothing but h of t. So your y of t will become like this in figure 6.8. You can see our sampled version will become like the rectangular waveform. So here we are holding the sample with the constant. So it will give us the coding operations, and here we can call that as a flat top sampling, because here when we are holding the sample value, constant provides time for subsequent coding operations. So your large value of tau would introduces the noticeable distortion, and here exact recovery is not possible unless you will get y of t which will be passed through the equalizer. So we cannot use flat topped sampling because here also we are not able to get recovery of the original signal. So if we are taking the Fourier transform of our this equation, h of t equal to g of a t minus tau by 2 upon tau. After that we are getting the equation y of t xs of t into h of t. So if we are taking the Fourier transform of the y of t, your equation will become y of f equal to xs of f into h of f. We are converting time domain into a frequency domain. So here our equation will become y of f equal to 1 into tau upon t of s summation n x f minus n of f into e to the power minus j pi upon tau sin f tau. So here we can say here also we will not able to get reconstruction of signal. So here we are supposed to use the equalizer to reduce the distortion caused. So you will get the original signal, because here distortion are caused by holding the pulse is constant. We can call this as a aperture effect. Now we are supposed to study about the undersampling. It means what? We are supposed to study about the problem of aliasing. What we are saying, when we are supposed to do sampling at that time, we are supposed to satisfy the sampling theorem which states that we will require the frequency that will be greater than equal to 2W. But here, if the frequency is less than 2W, we can see there is a overlap between adjacent to waveform. So there will get resultant distortion, and we can call that distortion as a aliasing distortion. So here we are supposed to study about how to recover from the problem of aliasing. How do we do anti-aliasing? So here firstly we will see about the problem of aliasing. Let's consider xs of f, the frequency function which is representing aliased spectrum, and let us consider if we are taking the three functions you can see in the diagram 6.9, 1 of t of s, x of f minus f of s, x of f plus f of s. If we are taking the three functions, the left side of these rectangular spectra are shown in the red color. So here, as we can see from the diagram, complex exponential, the negative frequency f1 is interfering with the frequency f1, means f1 dash is interfering with the f1, because you can see here the frequency is less than 2W. What will happen? The two adjacent will get interfering, this frequency will get interfering. So that is e to the power minus j 2 pi f1t is giving rise to the same set of sample as e to the power j pi f1 of t for the t of s chosen. So here we are supposed to sampling the cosine function. So if we are taking one example, x of t equal to 2 cos of 2 pi into 4t. So here if we are taking that function on diagram, now we are supposed to do sampling with the aliasing, with the distortion, with the overlapping. So here if we are taking spectrum which consists of the two pulses, one at 4 Hz and one is at negative 4 Hz. You can see in the 6.10a. So in which the negative frequency component had shown in the broken line. So here let we are considering the x of t be get sampled. It means what? Here we are supposed to select some ordinate. You can see in the figure 6.10b we are selecting -2, -4, -10, 2, 4, 10. It means what? Here we are selecting the 6 samples per second. So here the resulting spectrum in the figure 6.10b, we can see if in the xs of f there are the spectral components like plus minus 2 Hz, and the impulse with the broken line we are taking at originally at the 2 Hz. So here we will get e to the power minus j 2 pi 4 of t is giving rise to the same set of sample, that of the positive e to the power j 2 pi 2 of t. So here when we are sampling and we are considering the 6 sample per seconds, at that time we are saying e to the power minus j pi 2 pi 4 of t is giving the same set with the e to the power j 2 pi 2 of t. So here we can see this is easy to verify. We can equate that equation e to the power minus j 2 pi 4 of t equal to, we can take, if we are taking n t equal to n by 6, because here we are taking the 6 sample per second. So you will get our equation will become e to the power minus j 4 pi upon 3 into n. If you solve, you will get the equation. So here what we can say, similarly if we are taking for the other sample, like the set of sample which we get from the e to the power j 8 pi t, it will also give the same sample with respect to the e to the power minus j 4 pi t. So here in other word we can say a 4 Hz cosine becomes alias of the 2 Hz because they are overlapping. If there were to be 2 Hz component in x of f, the 4 Hz will interfere with the 2 Hz component, and which will causes to distortion due to the undersampling. So here what we can see, if these two frequencies are overlapping, we can say that as a under overlapping, and we will get the distortion. We can call this as a aliasing. So if you can see in the figure 6.11, as seen from the figure up to 3 Hz, there is no aliasing problem. But beyond that, when we will making the component 4 Hz, we will get aligned with the 2 Hz. If you see 4 Hz is aliasing with the 2 Hz. So here we can say we will get the aliasing. So here if we are saying the 3 Hz there is no aliasing, up to 3 Hz there is no aliasing. So here with the repeated back and forth sounding, we find that 8 Hz, 10 Hz, 14 Hz are alias of the 2 Hz, and all of them are making the same output which we will get at the 2 Hz. So we can say if we are supposed to filter xs of f by the ILPF with the cutoff frequency that will be less than half, means f of s of half, that will be, we are taking the 6, so 6 by 2 we will get here 3 Hz. So here we can say reconstruction of analog function we can get by using the ideal, I for ideal LPF, it is nothing but ideal low pass filter, where we are taking the cutoff frequency half of that. It means what? Fs of t. If we are taking the frequency Fs divided by 2, half of the original frequency, if we are considering ideal low pass filter, we can say we will get the reconstruction of analog signal. in the cosine. So here you can see aliasing picture where we will get the overlapping, but if we are taking the frequency, that is nothing but cutoff frequency, half of the original. At that time you will get the reconstruction of analog signal. So here we have finished about the aliasing. Okay. So what we are saying about the aliasing, if we will get the distortion when the word is being uttered, at that time we are saying we will get the distortion if there is a aliasing. Aliasing means what? There is a overlapping. So we are supposed to use anti-aliasing filter. So in the our example just we have seen, we are saying we will require the frequency, cutoff frequency, that will be the half of original frequency. Then we can sample the output of filter at the rate f of s sample per second. This way we will get the component that will have the frequency that is less than equal to fs of by 2, which we are preserving in the sampling process. So if we are supposed to take reconstruction of the original signal, at that time we are supposed to take that sample which will have error that will resulting from without anti-aliasing filter. We can see here one example. If we are having one analog signal, that is nothing but x of t, it is passed through the anti-aliasing filter with cutoff frequency fc, then sampled with what we are saying cutoff frequency is half of original. So original क्या हो जाएगी? fs will become 2f of f. You can write fc equal to fs by 2, or you can write fs equal to 2fc. fc means cutoff frequency. So here, if we are saying x of f is not band limited, at that time we are supposed to reconstruct the original signal, that is the y1 of t. So now our equation is becoming e1 of t equal to integration minus infinite to infinite x of t minus y1 of t whole square d of t. So if we are using the anti-aliasing filter, you will get the sample directly because we are taking the frequency, cutoff frequency will f of s by 2. So here if we are taking the y2 of t, reconstructing the signal, and we are considering e of t equal to minus infinite to infinite integration x of t minus y2 of t whole square. Here we are considering e2 value is greater than equal to e1. So here if we are taking the y1 of f does not have any aliasing, but the part of x of f for when we are having the cutoff frequency which is less than the frequency, this introduces some distortion, and our equation is becoming y1 of t minus x of t square dt for the e1. But what we are saying we are supposed to take that equation in the form of band limited, in the form of frequency domain. So you can reconvert y1 of f minus x of f whole square df. But we are having the y1 of f equation. We are having y1 of value x of f if frequency is less than cutoff, and its value is 0 if frequency is greater than cutoff. So we can apply this. So now we can see the diagram we will get if we are having the original signal, that is in the triangular form. We can see the spectrum of reconstructed signal is passed through the anti-aliasing. If it is passing through the anti-aliasing filter before sampling, it means what? Here we are minimizing the undersampling, and spectrum of reconstructed signal with the aliasing you can see in the figure 6.14c. So here we can see y2 of t will suffer from the aliasing, and you will get the equation equal to x of f square for minus infinite to minus f of c to infinite, and minus f of c to f of c, y2 of f minus x of f square d of f. So here we can say we are supposed to use anti-aliasing filter to reconstruct the original signal. After that, we will get the signal like 6.14C. Remaining we will see in the next session. Thank you.